Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to you all today. Today we are going to discuss the new chapter for the grade 7 in the subject chemistry. So here we are going to start with the new chapter, that is chapter 8, salt. And here from this chapter we are going to start from the page 102. So let's open the page 102 and see what are the learning objectives of today's lesson. So in today's lesson we are going to see that what is salt, or we can say the common salt, and also here the methods of which we can get the salt up to the surface. In that particularly we are going to talk today for the first thing, that is the salt mining, and with the salt mining we can also see that what is rock salt. So let's start the lesson with the salt. What is salt? So here the chemical name for the salt is sodium chloride, which is commonly known as a salt. And though the sea salt also contains other chemical salts, is an ionic compound with the chemical formula for the salt is NaCl. NaCl, it stands for sodium chloride, representing a ratio 1:1 ratio of sodium and chloride ions. So 1 ion of sodium and 1 ion of chloride togetherly is giving us the salt called as sodium chloride. Now here we can see that NaCl, the table salt, an ionic compound. We can say that sodium chloride is a crystalline solid at room temperature and very high melting point of 801 degrees Celsius. It is easily dissolved in the water and great electrical conductor. It can dissolve in the water and it is a great electrical conductor. For example, the sea water, we can say that it is the easily dissolved in water. And also we can use this sodium chloride for the flavoring food, which can cause the blood pressure also. It increases the blood pressure and melts ice in the winter. So this is the sea salt, we can say how it look like, and structurally it is arranged in this way, that is the sodium and the chloride ions, they are joined together giving you the sodium chloride as a salt. Now here we can see that the raw salt, which is there as a sodium chloride 94.5% as the sea salt, which we have seen here in this picture. The same sea salt we can see here as the 94.5% of sodium chloride. And furthermore we can say that the sea salt is obtained by evaporating water from the sea or the ocean, while a table salt is extracted from mining operations of rock salt. So here you can see the difference between the table salt, which we are using as the salt in our food, and also we can see here the another, that is the sea salt, the salt which we get it from the sea, that we can see the difference between the two salts, that is the table salt, that is sodium chloride containing the maximum amount of sodium chloride, which is commonly used as table salt, and here you can see the sea salt. Furthermore, we can say that the sea salt, which comes from the natural evaporated sea water under the sun, when you evaporate it, it comes from the natural evaporation, and also the 5% of natural, it has 5% of natural potassium, calcium, other minerals that give a flavor. The minerals are readily used by the body as they are naturally occurring. So here you can see the sea salt, whereas the table salt, which we are using in our food is heated to extreme temperatures, refined with chemicals, and potassium and sodium iodide added for iodized salt. So we are using the salt in our kitchen, that is the salt in our food which we are eating, that is the iodized salt, and it is processed with the chemical, it is refined with the chemicals, that is the potassium and the sodium iodide, which is added for the iodized salt. Dextrose, sodium bicarbonate and sodium are added for color. So this is what we can see the table salt. Also here we can get the salt by different methods. The methods which we get the salt on the surface, that is, first thing is the digging from the mines, and the second is pumping the salt solution, that is the brine. So here first thing we are going to see that digging from the mines. Also we can say that the salt mining. Here, if you talk about the salt mining, look at the picture where you are finding here the salt, that is what we are looking here, and we can also dig it from the rock. Look at this, the salt mining which can be done from the rock salt can be dug and from the underground, and we can get the salt from here. So here the salt is found about 300 meter below the ground, and in its natural impure form it is called the rock salt. It is drilled and blasted out and then brought to the surface. The underground caverns form do not cave in if pillars of rock salt are left in a place, and hence we can just by digging the rock we can find out from the underground, we can get the salt. That salt is, even though it is not the pure salt, but we can get it from the rock. So rock salt is sold to councils around the country, and it is used to grit roads in winter. So this is also the another use of this kind of rock salt. So this is the first thing that we can get the salt from salt mining. The second part of it that we will be continuing in the next video, and with this now for the today's lesson I am going to conclude here the today's lesson. I will be back with the new video. Till then, thank you and goodbye.